Chayey Soro, Daf Tes Vav Amud Gimel. There's a lot of Kabbalah words over here. I'm going to take a point from the Maimon. It says as follows: the concept of eating is, when a person is eating, what happens is the food is being digested and it becomes into blood, and from the blood it goes to the heart and to the mind, and that's the system of the three controllers of a person, which is the liver, which is processes and makes the blood and purifies it, and then he sends it to the heart and to the mind, and between those three are the three rulers of the person. And through that becomes from a person, from the food becomes a person, from the food becomes a blood, and from that becomes the person. And through that, his heart and his mind become stronger to serve Hashem, with a burning desire to Hashem that becomes because of eating. If a person would not eat, it would be wicked, and he would not be able to do what he's supposed to do. And by a person eating, he has the strength, and he has the energy, and he has the ability to have a burning desire to Hashem. And also his mind becomes strong to have contemplation, the greatness of Hashem. And that's the concept of purification, that from the food, purifying the food, becomes from that the person himself. But this is all regarding the food that the person eats during the weekdays. In other words, that is becoming purified, becoming elevated, become part of a person. But in Shabbos, the law is that a person is not allowed to choose and to separate the good from the bad and to take it out of it. It's called Beirer. So Beirer is not permitted in Shabbos. So this concept of purification of the food, taking the good part and using it for part of the body and becoming the strength to the heart, to the mind, etc. But in Shabbos, it's a different type of work. But the eating is much higher level, which is drawing down the concept, V'karas Shabbos enig, you'll call Shabbos pleasure. What does that mean? As the pasuk says, As tisanig alavaya, then you will have enjoyment and pleasure in Hashem. In other words, the concept of eating is a much higher level of eating. It's not that just the physical purification the food becomes part of a person, but rather to elevate a person to the level of enjoying Hashem, pleasure in Hashem. It says in the pasuk, Acher v'kedem tzarasani, you created me after and before. What does that mean? Is the last one to the creation, but the intention, the beginning of creation. So in reality, in the physical creation, a person was created, the last thing that was created. In other words, after the whole world was complete, and you had the vegetations, and then you had the fish, and then you had the birds, and all the luminaries, whatever place they were supposed to be, the stars and the moons, and everything. Once everything was set, then a person was created. There's several explanations of it. One of it is that the person comes in the purpose of creating a person is to serve Hashem. In order for him to be able to serve Hashem, he needs to have tools. So Hashem first of all prepared all the tools for a person to serve Hashem, and then he brought him in to serve Hashem. Like you have a person is set up with all the office that he needs to do the job to do, and once everything is set up, you bring the person to work over there. So you have the concept of Lisanig al Hashem. This is something that was specially for Shabbos. So a person was created to last, but the intention is for the beginning. The food, the way it is right now, when he came down to this world, in the level of Shviras Kelim, so the person is much higher than that. The person is purifying the food. But in source, the source of the food is much greater than the person himself. Therefore, by a person eating the food, he gets and is being elevated to the source of the food, which over there is much greater than a person, and therefore he gives a person energy to do what he needs to, and he gives him ability to have a burning desire to Hashem, as we'll continue with Hashem tomorrow.